Cortez. You're here to talk about your son. Would you like to tell me more about that?
Okay. It's been for some time now that I noticed a little changes on his eating habits. He's not eating as much or regularly as when he was on summer vacation. So I noticed that he eats less.
How was the portions? How was normal during the summer compared to now?
During the summer, he used to eat, I would say, a good amount, not over the amount, but it was normal amounts, portions. Now he just put same amount, and he goes, I don't want to eat much. I don't want to eat much. So.
How many meals a day would he usually eat?
During summertime, he was actually doing 3. Sometimes he would be 4 with the snacks, even desserts after meals. But now he doesn't want desserts. He says he buys snacks, but I'm not sure. I don't see him eating at all.
How does he eat right now? Does he eat less meals?
Yes.
How
Well,
many?
he doesn't prepare the breakfast, but he always gives me an excuse that he have a stomachache if he eats it too early. So he said he'll eat lunch, but I'm not in school to see if he really eats lunch. He comes home and he eats very little for dinner. So that makes me think if he only eats the time that I see him eating, or he just saying he eats lunch just to keep me quiet.
Do you believe that school plays a factor? Well, you mentioned he eats less now because of school. Is there a reason why do you think? Because of stress
Well,
or anything?
yes. I think he might be going through a little bit too much of stress over school. Some of his friends graduated, so he's probably with no friends, although he said he still has some friends left in school. But he's a senior now, so I tell him that when he, every year, new friends, that makes him more friends. Now he have the friends from previous years and the new friends from now.
He's a senior. Do you believe because of that he has more stress in school? Because of college
Yes.
applications?
Yes.
Has his weight fluctuated a lot? Like, does he
Yes.
gain and lose, gain and lose?
No, I think he lost weight since school started. That's why it makes me believe that school is making him change it in how he eats.
Have you tried to set up a plan to make sure that he would eat more during school?
No.
Even in the past, have you tried, or?
Well, when they were smaller, I would put snacks in their book bags and cut that.
Because you mentioned it as if he's plural. You remember he's like your only son.
Well, I know because I thought of you and me.
That's why I laughed.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
I'll repeat the question. I forgot the question.
Oh my God. Yes, I used to put snacks for him when he was smaller to make sure that he has something on him. But now he said that he's not a kid anymore, so I give him some allowance so he can have whenever he wants to buy some snacks. But I insist that he should buy healthy snacks.
you mentioned healthy snacks. Do you have a rule for?
Well, it's not really a rule, like, but I do suggest all the time that he should not buy fast food. He should always try to keep, buy, yes, he could buy cookies or, he could buy use, but not potato chips or things like that.
Does he play any sports at school?
At school, he doesn't play. Not that I'm aware of. At least he doesn't stay after school to practice for any sports.
Does he play sports at all, even just for fun with his friends?
During the summertime, he used to hang out with some of his friends.
Well, in the past, have you ever had an eating disorder that maybe?
Well, see, I don't know if it's really a really eating disorders, and that's why I think I have to bring my son over to a professional to help me out with it, because I think that when I'm stressed, I tend to eat. But with him, I think it was probably doing the opposite, not eating. So, maybe it's nothing, but I tend to eat more when I'm stressed, when I feel stressed.
What kind of help would you like him to receive if he does have an eating disorder? Since I spoke to him before, he mentions that he doesn't think that he has an eating disorder, that he does admit that his eating patterns have changed, but that's because of school, but he still eats twice a day during the week, but he eats snacks in between. Have you spoken to him, briefly about it, or even before? Because I know you must have spoke to him before bringing him here, but have you ever had a real conversation about this?
Well, yes, I have talked about it. I told him that I do think that he might be suffering from some eating disorders, and I noticed that it's just starting, so I asked him to come to let me bring him over here.
And how did he react when you told him?
He didn't like the idea. He was annoyed about it. And he told me, "You're just gonna waste your time because I don't have any eating disorders." So I said, "Well, that's not how I feel. So why don't we just go and have a second opinion?"
And your husband, how does he feel? Does he feel the same way as you do about this?
He does. He says maybe he just he just growing, and he think he doesn't need to eat as much as he used to, or maybe just because he's growing and going into more into an adult, that he's more conscious of his weight. But I think he still needs to eat more.
Have you ever seen him, how can I say this, concerned about the shape of his body image, or what he thinks of what other people might think of him?
Yes, I think. Well, he says he doesn't care, but I think he does. He doesn't like to take his T-shirt off when he's at the beach. Everybody takes the T-shirt off at the beach. At least teenagers does. He doesn't like it. He says no. That was one of the signs that I saw that he might be, ashamed of his body, or because he's not big. So if it's being as small as he is, and he doesn't like to show up his body, then does that mean that he thinks that he's overweight?
mention of his concern of his weight?
I've seen him weight himself at home more than regularly, and he tells me that he really only checks maybe once. But in less than a week I saw him weighting himself like 3 times.
3 times
in 1 week.
Oh, 1 week.
That I caught him on. But he tells me that he only do it like maybe once every now and then. 3 times in a week, that's not once every now and then.
Other than school stress, do you think there's any other factors that might have played?
That might have played. I think that he just stressed over the fact that some of his best friends are no longer in the school with him. Maybe because I'm concerned that he might be having a hard time making new friends to replace the friends that left. I don't know.
So the kind of help you would like for your son is therapy to help him manage eat more, or for his self-esteem?
I think he needs help on self-esteem, because I think he's shy. I think it's harder for him to be in crowds. So he's more keeping to himself, and that's why I think he's having a problem. He's stressing too much over the fact that he wants to make new friends, or he have to make new friends.
Okay. Well, if you have any more questions, I will give you my card, and you could call me anytime to set another appointment if you like. And I hope you have a nice day.
Thank you, Miss
Hannah. You're welcome.
Where the heck do you got Hunnam?
He's my husband, Charlie Hunnam. I actually said that as a joke.